Hey Pokemon fans, EpilepZ here with a new series, VGC Teambuilder. This is where I'm going to be building teams and using them throughout the week, and then at the end of the week I'm going to do a review on that team. But I thought since this is the very first episode, I would have a special guest and use his team, Eric, aka EGB4TV, who came in 8th place at Massachusetts Regionals. Hi Eric.
What's going on, guys?
So, your team, can you tell me just a broad thing right before we hop into this? How fun is it? Did it work out completely how you wanted it to work out? Or, you know?
So the team kind of started out with me just wanting to use Charizard. Because, you know, obviously Charizard is like the #1 Pokemon of all time.
Of course.
Yeah,
That's
every
why
Gen 1 or
it got
2.
2 Mega Evolutions.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, totally. So the combo of Charizard and Zapdos kind of intrigued me a little bit, and once I got those two on my team, I was just like, what could I possibly build to go around these two? And that's sort of how the team came together. Just fit a bunch of random Pokemon that seemed to fit well together with the combo that I originally came up with, but just decided to use.
Okay, so let's get into these EV spreads and just the sets in general, because that's what makes the Pokemon successful, it looks like. As you can see, the team is Charizard Mega Y, Zapdos, Swampert, Aegislash, Terrakion, and Hydreigon. And like you said, Charizard Y and Zapdos are your two major ones. So let's get into the best Pokemon of all time, Charizard Y. What can you tell me about your spread?
I did borrow it from a Nugget Bridge article, but the spread is, as you can see on the screen, 252 HP, 4 defense, 44 special attack, 20 special defense, and 188 speed, with a modest nature. So basically, I know the Charizard may look like wow, this is a really bulky spread. It's not really running a lot of special attack. That's because Charizard doesn't really need a lot of special attack to be successful. Combined with the Sun power, along with its really good special attack stat, make it so you don't really need a lot of special attack. And basically, the spread is designed to survive Jolly, Garchomp, and Mamoswine unboosted rock slides 100% of the time. I'm assuming that's not single target, because that'd be ridiculous. It survives Modest, Choice Specs, Hydreigon, Draco Meteor 100% of the time, which is a calc I never really ran into very much, but it's definitely useful. It survives Modest, Thundurus, Incarnate's Thunderbolt 100% of the time, which is really useful. Actually, a side note to this, Charizard did actually take a Life Orb Timid Thunderous Eye Thunderbolt, so I guess it has a chance of surviving that too, which is pretty nice, because that actually came in handy. And it outruns Adamant Landorus T by 1 point, granted that it's not Scarfed, so it can get off some powerful fire attacks to either Assault Vest or Focus Sash Landorus T.
So yeah, that's pretty much Charizard. Charizard's a problem.
Yeah. Ironically, Charizard, I would not get the theme. It would just kind of there to either fire off no pun intended, fire off overheats and heat waves and all that. And Charizard, I just think is a really good Mega in this format, and I definitely think it's a little bit underrated, but I'm kind of glad that it's picking up in popularity, because it's definitely a really good choice.
Yeah, it was huge in last season, 2014.
Yeah, 2014.
But with Salamence and all these other Megas coming out, yeah, it kind of got dimmed, I guess. They dimmed the flame.
Yeah.
But
one of the big problems of this team, but luckily I didn't run into too many that gave me too much trouble.
So, let's get into the next star, I guess, the core of your team, Zapdos.
Yeah, Zapdos. Yeah, Zapdos is a good one. Zapdos I would consider one of the main MVPs of this team. Zapdos just does so much work, both offensively and defensively. If you guys can see the moveset up here, you have Thunderbolt, HP Ice, Roost, Tailwind. This is kind of I'd say sort of a medium between the whole defensive and offensive movesets, because you've got the main Electric Ice combination with HP Ice and Thunderbolt. Citrus Berry just to add to Zapdos' bulk, because a main reason that people choose Zapdos over Thunderbolt, and I guess it's technically the more offensive variant of the two, because Zapdos boasting the extra 15 points or so. I think it's either 10 or 15 points in special attack. But the EV spread, this is from another Nugget Bridge article. that was actually a spread from last season that actually worked out pretty well. 220 HP, 120 defense, 44 special attack, 96 special defense, and 28 speed. Not really any. Not really.
Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So from last season, it's going to be good. It's Zapdos.
Yeah. I don't think this Zapdos was. I'm not sure what this Zapdos was EV'd specific to, but I guess it does outspeed what it needs to outspeed under Tailwind, and it takes hits, so I was pretty pleased at how it performed. Zapdos just kind of was there to set up Tailwind for Charizard, and then just, the good thing I like about Zapdos is it can take a Rock Slide or two, and then proceed to set up Tailwind right in the face of Landorus T. So, after that Tailwind is set up, HP Ice, or we can threaten to switch and go for Roost. So, Zapdos, really good offensive threat, and really good defensive Pokemon to have, especially next to Charizard.
It seems to be like one of the bulkier offensive Pokemon in the meta going around now.
Yeah.
It's always been.
Yeah. Zapdos is kind of like sidelined because Thundurus is now a thing, but I still think Zapdos is, in my opinion, it's the superior electric type, but I don't know.
It's Gen
Thundurus
1.
Still, yeah.
It's from the
Thundurus
best generation,
really
right?
good. Yeah.
With
It's
Charizard.
definitely the best. Yeah, with Charizard, so...
Yes. So next up,
we gotta be the best ones.
So next one is, well, a Gen 3 Pokemon. We're going to Swampert. Now, you're not using Mega Swampert, which is okay. You're not running a Rain Team anyway.
Nope.
So you're running Expert Belt.
Yeah.
So what can you tell me about this set?
So this set is, once again, not mine. This is actually Angel Miranda's spread that he popularized at the beginning of the season when he used Special Swampert just as sort of a... Actually, Swampert actually gets Wide Guard, which I thought was really interesting, which is a main focus of its potential that drew me to it. Also, Swampert's one of my favorite Pokemon, so obviously it definitely deserved a spot on this team. Expert Belt is there so it can nab a bunch of KOs that Swampert doesn't usually get. Mainly some of the ones that you want to get KOs on are Salamence, Landorus T, and Mawile, but the only time where I actually had to face a Mawile with KO with Earth Power, so it was heavily invested in special defense, which I thought was mind-blowing, which kind of ended up costing me a game, which is something I'll get into later, but yeah, this moveset is just all straight-out attacking moves, no Protect or anything. Scald, Ice Beam, Earth Power, Wide Guard. I'll get more into the whole usage of Wide Guard later, but yeah, Swampert was also a really good MVP in this because I think Swampert is a really good check to the double Genie lead, which is something I was really scared of. It was a good check to Landorus T, maybe even more of a check. It was more of a counter, actually, because people were just so scared to go up against Swampert. Yeah, also, the combination of Swampert plus Mega Charizard is really good because Swampert and Charizard complement each other's weaknesses really well, so that lead was also really fun to use.
So, I have one question. Why special over physical?
I guess just KOs, because Expert Belt, I think Swampert gets a lot of, I think the rationale that Angel Miranda used is that Swampert gets a lot more powerful special type attacking moves. Well, I guess you could make the case for Earthquake, but also it doesn't get crippled by Will-O-Wisp and Intimidate, which I'm pretty sure somebody tried to Will-O-Wisp my Swampert in Massachusetts, and I just kind of like, no, I'm special Swampert, sorry dude. And yes, the added Expert Belt power gives Swampert a lot of potential to nab KOs that it wouldn't normally get, and it just makes its attacks a lot more strong.
Okay, well, that's done with that Pokemon. Let's go on to the Gen 6 Pokemon on your team, the Aegislash. The most annoying Pokemon to pretty much be on the face of the planet.
Well, Aegislash is definitely annoying. Aegislash there because, well, of course, Wide Guard. But mainly the Aegislash was there just to serve as a counter against Kangaskhan, because Kangaskhan doesn't really hit Aegislash very hard, except if maybe like Sucker Punch or something. But this Aegislash defensive spread is really meant to take hits and then deal back damage with weakness policy, which is by far one of my favorite items of 6th Gen. The Aegis Slash EV spread, if you guys can see it on the screen, 252 HP, 108 defense, 128 special attack, and 20 special defense, with a quiet nature, so Aegis Slash can work under Trick Room pretty well. Definitely improved my Trick Room matchup a lot, but I only saw, I think, one team with Trick Room, and that was the team that beat me 3 times in one day at Massachusetts.
Yeah, Trick Room.
Aegis Slash was built really defensive. Yeah, and also I was playing one of the best, arguably one of the best players in the world, but I digress. But yeah, this Aegis Slash is built really defensively to take advantage of weakness policy, as opposed to the standard like 252 HP, 252 special attack spreads that you see floating around. But Aegis Slash was definitely one of the MVPs of the team, because it also helped me with the whole wide guard bluff scenario. Because let me tell you a little story about wide guard and how I used it throughout the tournament. In total, between both regionals, I think I used wide guard maybe like 3 times the entire tournament. And the whole time, the only reason why I didn't use wide guard is because I was bluffing it. Not really bluffing that I had it, it's more like bluffing that I was going to use it. Because there were many, many times where the opponent either had like a Terrakion or a Landorus out against my Charizard, and they would just either protect, switch out, and I just wouldn't use wide guard. Because I'd just be like, yeah, they're probably going to think I'm going to use wide guard, and I just go and attack the other Mon, or just attack whatever switches in, and yeah, wide guard was mainly used as a bluff, and I think one of the only times it came in handy is when my opponents thought I didn't have wide guard, because I'd not used it the entire game, even though there were plenty of opportunities where I could have used wide guard, but in the end, it kind of costed him, because he actually did use a move that I blocked with wide guard, and then that ended up netting me the victory. So, yeah, wide guard, ultimate bluff.
It seems that wide guard is necessary in these VGC matches anyway, especially on an Aegis Slash, with a lot of heat waves even coming in.
Oh yeah, lots of heat waves, rock slides, especially now with Hyper Voice, with special ments becoming a lot more popular. And I'm assuming that Sylveon is going to be back on the rise, since a lot of steel types have sort of decreased in popularity. Well, Heatran and Aegis Slash are still a thing, but I don't think Fairy is as much hard countered as it was in the beginning of the season. So I do expect a rise in Sylveon later in the season.
Okay. So let's go on to the Terrakion. Everyone has one, unless they're running a different fighting type or rock type. You got the Terrakion. You're going with the meta. So what can you tell me about this? Seems pretty basic, pretty straightforward.
Just kind of there. Yeah, Terrakion's just kind of there, honestly. I never brought it during Georgia. I think I brought it like once or twice in Massachusetts, because I don't know, I feel like people just like kind of hard counter Terrakion nowadays, especially with Kangaskhan teams. Usually with Kangaskhan teams you see like Landorus is really big on Kangaskhan teams, and just a lot of bulky waters too. So Terrakion just kind of there as a Kangaskhan check once again. Terrakion's also a really common partner with Charizard, because it does get the boost from the sun not having water type moves hit as hard. And I guess Rock Slide, I wanted something on my team with Rock Slide, because Rock Slide is probably the greatest move in the game besides Protect.
Well, yeah, you got Flinch, and you can take down Charizards.
Yeah, take down the big threat that known as Charizard. I guess kind of a better matchup for the Charizard Mirror match, which I ran into twice, but at Georgia, but I still did not bring Terrakion even in the Charizard Mirror match, because I don't know, like I felt that a lot of teams just countered it, so I just didn't really bring it. And even if I did bring it, I only used it once for Rock Slide or 2. If you're questioning my third move choice, which is Substitute, originally this move slot was Quick Guard, but there's been a lot of debate whether or not which move is best for Terrakion's third or fourth move slot.
Well, there's been a huge decline in Talonflames.
Yeah,
I've noticed that, and the only other real I guess priority move you'd be dealing with is Sucker Punch, and that would just give you a justified boost.
Yeah, there's also the deal with Prankster with Thundurus and stuff, with the Prankster Thunder Waves and all that. But I really thought that I didn't think that was a big issue. It never really came up too much in the entirety of both tournaments. So what somebody suggested to me was Substitute. And the rationale for it was, well, Thundurus is going to paralyze you, burn the Lumberry, and then you just substitute, so they can't Thunder Wave you anymore. So they basically have to attack, which is basically so you can just fire off a Rock Slide and get the KO on Thundurus. So I thought that was really interesting. Didn't use Terrakion the entirety of Georgia, so it was just kind of there. Yeah, that's all I have to say. It may seem like I have a lot to say about Terrakion, but in reality, it didn't do very much.
Okay. So let's go with the last Pokemon. Hopefully you used it a lot more than Terrakion. This is Hydreigon.
Oh yeah, Hydreigon.
And I see you're using Life Orb,
kind of
not
just
a choice specs.
Yeah. Actually, fun fact: I did consider switching out Life Orb for a choice item the day before Massachusetts because I was really scared of Salamence. So I thought about scarfing Hydreigon, but then I thought about it and I was like, well, this is gonna really suck against Trick Room. And plus, Hydreigon, I really wanted Hydreigon to be able to switch moves just in case, you know, like, I don't know. I really like when with Pokemon with diverse move pools, such as Hydreigon, are able to switch moves. So I kept Life Orb on there. Still gets a decent amount of offensive pressure, and I just kind of went with a standard 252 spread because, like, I don't know, just speed tie with other Life Orb Hydreigons, outspeed choice specs variants, and yeah, Hydreigon did come in handy in times when I needed it, but mainly the main focus of the team was just Charizard, Swampert, Zapdos, Aegislash. The Terrakion and Hydreigon were just sort of niche picks. If I thought the team would benefit from having Hydreigon, then I brought it. So it was just a really good offensive special attacker.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah.
They hit like trucks.
Yeah, this whole team is special attackers, except for Terrakion.
I've noticed that too.
Yeah.
That could be good and bad, but it seems to have worked out in your favor. You went top 8.
Yeah, I'm lucky I didn't see Snarl.
Yeah, Snarl, Suicunes. That's kind of a problem.
Yeah.
But
I'm not running into any of those.
So we'll just give you guys the basic look one more time as the team: the Charizard, the Zapdos, the Swampert, the Aegislash, the Terrakion, and the Hydreigon. Hopefully I am going to be able to use this team this week on Battle Spot, and then at the end of the week I'll be giving my review. And maybe I'll be joined by Eric again, and we can both get our reviews of the team completely. If he wants.
Yeah. It should be a fun team. I think I may have to, like, sort of teach you how to play this team a little bit because, I don't know, it looks pretty straightforward because, as I mentioned earlier, it mainly focused around the first 4. But, with Terrakion and Hydreigon sort of being niche picks, but mainly most of the time you're just going to be bringing the first 4. And this team is very, as Wolfie Glick told me, very, very hyper-offensive, which is something I realized as soon as we played in Top Cut. I actually never realized that up until, like, he said something about it, because, like, I realized this team, while it may look kind of bulky on the surface, it's very, very hyper-offensive, especially with the Tailwind plus the Charizard and stuff, so you're going to have to play a lot very offensive style, which is kind of what I played the entire tournament, and it sort of worked out for me.
Okay. Well, hopefully I'll be doing as well as you did. Everyone, thank you for watching. Go follow Eric on Twitter and subscribe to his YouTube. I'll have the links in the description below. You got any last words?
Yeah, if you guys want to check out any more VGC content, I would recommend subscribing to my YouTube channel and following my Twitch channel as well. I'm going to be trying to upload a lot more VGC content in the future, including my own sort of analysis / retrospective on this team and its performance, because I think it was one of my favorite teams to play in any VGC format. And I'm going to be trying to pump out a lot of episodes of Road to Ranked, and just a lot more stuff, and a lot more Twitch streams, because I'm going to be trying to prep for Nationals, which is in a month. So expect a lot more videos. And also, if you haven't already, subscribe to this guy. He's going to start posting a lot more videos, and should be good. Should be good.
See that? Good. Yeah. If you guys haven't done it already, please give us a like on this video. It's greatly appreciated. And hopefully
really
this gives you guys some insight on other people's teams and why they build the teams. Next week, I'm probably going to just do my own team building, so you guys get what my little project is. And yeah, well, I'm going to be using this team this week, so you'll see that. And I guess until next time, later.